Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Hai semua. Okay, so kita sambung tutorial hari ini. Okay, today tutorial is we are still on subtopic 1.1 of chapter 1. Okay, and then we are still under determination of the order of the reaction. Okay, so macam teacher ajar last week, we have 4 methods untuk determine order of reaction. So kita dah go through the first method, which is by looking at the unit of the rate constant K. Okay, this one dah. Okay, then last week also teacher dah ajar method number 2, which is the initial rate method, di mana kita akan compare through data from the series of experiment. Okay, today we will continue with method number 3. Okay, and also method number 4. Method number 3 and method number 4 is by using a graphical method. Okay, so we start with the half-life method, okay, which is based on the graph. And also for this, teacher nak you guys refer pada handout yang kita dah buat bersama-sama. Okay, and then pada handout ni kita akan fokus kepada linear graph and also graph of concentration of A against time. Okay, so continue with the tutorial. So now, let's go to the example. So this is the method 3, half-life method, right? So this is the graph of concentration against time for 0 order, first order and second order. So this is actually already inside the handout yang kita dah buat bersama-sama. Okay, so now kita focus on example 6. Okay, so for example 6 class, okay, we are given the data for the radioactive decay of magnesium 28. So the data give you time, which is the time is in hours. Okay, so kita akan follow time yang diberi dalam soalan. So you were given time and also the concentration of the reactant, which is the magnesium 28, right, in molar. Okay, so the question asks you to determine the order of the reaction using graph of concentration against time. So class, kalau graph concentrations against time, meaning that nanti kita akan guna graph ini kita panggil sebagai half-life graph. Okay, so seperti mana yang kita dah belajar dalam handout yang teacher dah ajar. So when we plot concentration against time, so the graph can be used to find the half-life and also boleh digunakan untuk determine order of reaction. Okay, right. So now B, determine, after dah determine order of reaction, so then we need to determine the half-life value from the graph that we plot. So meaning that untuk A, you have to plot the graph of concentration against time. So guna kertas graph here, right? And C, we have to calculate the rate constant for the reaction. Right, so for this example, so when we plot concentration of magnesium against T in hour, so we get this shape of graph. Kita dapat curve yang macam ni, right? Macam exponential punya graph. Okay, so the initial concentration from the graph is 1. How do we know 1? Because at time 0, so concentration is 1 molar. So ini adalah actually A note. Okay, initial concentration, right? And then, so half-life is the initial concentration becomes half. Okay, so it means so half from 1 is 0.5. So here is the 0.5. So you have to cari point on the graph, and then at this value, so you dapat 21 hours. So this until here is your first half-life. Okay, and then half from 0.5 is 0.25. So here is 0.25 molar. So at concentration 0.25, the time taken untuk cari second half-life is at this value. So daripada sini until sini, ini adalah second half-life. Okay, so from your graph, okay, you have to show in the answer. So what is the value for the first half-life? So according to this answer example, first half-life is at 21 hour. See? Okay, so 21 hour. Okay, second half-life is 42 minus 21. So you get 21 hour as well for second half-life. Okay, so ini kena supaya dapat satu markah. Okay, so exist ini mesti ada, exist ini mesti ada, and you have to label first and second half-life, okay, in your graph. Alright, so after kita dah tahu the value of first and second half-life, so remember in the handout, okay, so the ciri-ciri for the first half-life is, ciri-ciri for first order reaction. First order reaction, the first half-life is equal to the second half-life. Okay. Meanwhile, the characteristic for second order based on half-life graph, second half-life is double ataupun twice the first half-life. So, from the data, we see that the reaction is a first order. Okay, so the reaction is a first order. Kenapa? Because the second half-life is equal to the first half-life. So, dia memenuhi ciri-ciri first order. So, that's why jawapan dia adalah first order. Okay, so awak nampaklah kat sini kan function pentingnya graph concentration against time untuk cari half-life untuk determine order of reaction. So, ini you guys should get satu markah first order. Okay, and the explanation, the second half-life is equal to the first half-life. So, kat sini akan dapat satu markah, reasoning dapat satu markah. Okay, right, settle with the graph. Okay, the question B, determine the half-life of the reaction. So, half-life ini mesti we get from the graph. So, since the graph give you the value of half-life is 21 hours, so half-life is 21 hours. Okay, right, and then C, calculate the rate constant K of the reaction. Okay, so untuk cari K, we have to apply a half-life equation. Okay, untuk first order reaction, which is T half equals to ln 2 over K. Right, so we want to find the K value, so we substitute the half-life, which is 21 hour. Okay, and then you will get K equals to 0.03 hour negative 1. So unit is compulsory as usual. Right? Okay, so I want you to do practice question 10. Okay, so practice question 10, the table shows the data for the reaction of element Y. So here you have time. Okay, this time is in the value of exponent 3. Okay, this is also concentration of Y. Okay, with exponent 3 molar. So when you plot the graph, okay, so macam biasa ini matematik atau fizik dah belajar, right? So concentration ni, okay, of Y, you terus buat dekat sini exponent negative 3. So you just ambil value ini saja yang you plotkan untuk scale tu. Okay, same goes to time. Okay, T, right? So terus kat sini exponent 3. So you just ambil nilai ini saja untuk diletakkan pada scale. Alright, okay, so using the data given, plot concentration Y against time. So from this curve ataupun from the graph that you get, so determine order of reaction. Okay, and then determine half-life of the reaction as well from the graph, and also calculate the rate constant. Alright, so here practice question 10. So, itu sahaja tugasan untuk tutorial hari ini. Okay, thank you class. Assalamualaikum.